as a licensed taxi driver to talk about some issues that are really pressing in the trade at the moment. So Scott, first of all, can we talk about, as you have one, the electric taxi ending?
Yeah, of course. The electric taxi is the future we see of London, London licensed taxis industry. It's a fantastic vehicle to drive, very comfortable, very smooth, although it does come with its issues. Firstly, for us, the range of the vehicle is just pretty much not acceptable. It's difficult to do a full working day on one charge. For myself, with a bit of commuting time, it doesn't really fulfil the needs that we need as London taxi drivers. Anybody living a bit further out is going to struggle. But
what are you finding real life range of the taxi in the winter, especially when you've got the heaters on them now?
So real life during the winter is probably closer to around about sort of 40 miles.
Yeah.
I average about 150 miles a day.
Wow.
So an overnight charge at home is only really giving me probably about 4 or 5 hours. Then, depending on the jobs that I get, obviously, then I'm either looking for a charger or I'm running on the range extender.
Okay. And what's the reality of the chargers being available? What the chargers are available in the centre?
When I bought the cab last year, it was okay. Now there's nowhere near enough. We were promised 150 chargers by the end of last year. That's never materialised. There's still promises coming through that there's going to be improved. It's the rapid charging points we need. There's thousands of fast chargers, but 2 hours is no good. The rapid charger is what we need, and I believe the companies are really chomping at the bit to install them. I know the Mayor said last week that apparently there's uncooperative boroughs, but at the end of the day, it lies with TfL. They made the promises to us.
So next issue is around the ultra low emission zone and how that's affecting the taxi trade. Scott?
So the ultra low emission zone actually comes into central London the 8th of April, I believe, this year. We're welcoming it as part because of the fact that the licensed taxi trade is exempt from the trade, even though there's only a small portion of the trade that are driving ULEZ vehicles at the moment. The bigger issues are going to be coming later on. 2021, apparently that's going to go out to the north and south circulars.
Yeah.
It's going to start stretching out to the boroughs as well, to Greater London. And the problem we have is really the fact we don't feel that the Mayor and Transport for London are giving us the right promises. The fact that we're always going to be exempt. It's an issue that, amongst other issues, that we feel that we're not being supported. We'll see. I don't honestly think that there's going to be that much of a drop in traffic the way that Mr. Khan seems to think. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes in.
Of course, what he's arguing is it's not so much a congestion charge; it's more just not having the more polluting vehicles coming in.
Yeah,
that's what he's arguing.
Yes.
But of course, there is the argument around people who can afford the newer vehicles.
Yeah.
That's fine, but then you get a lot of Londoners, a lot of essential workers can't afford
That's right.
a newer vehicle, and they're the ones who are going to be punished.
Yes, they are going to be punished at the end of the day. I've just literally seen a figure that there's been a massive increase. For example, 65% increase in the last 5 years in private hire vehicles, whereas an 11% decrease in taxis. So for them to turn around and say that the taxi trade is one of the biggest pollutants, firstly is, I'm afraid, a lie. Secondly, as you say, for a lot of people who live in central London can essentially afford those sort of vehicles. People that need to come into London to work are being punished, and the goalposts will probably move again. This is a document's come out recently that that has been hidden. I will say it's been hidden, and it hasn't been made light. And it's just something else that we're worried about now.
Okay. When the Mayor first mooted the idea of an electric vehicle, he also said that there would be a choice. I believe he actually said there would be up to 5 vehicles to choose from. Clearly we haven't seen that, but I'd like your views on that.
Yeah, so owning an electric vehicle, some people would say that I'm biased towards that vehicle. I enjoy driving that vehicle personally, but competition is healthy. Competition for the customer. And also, the customer, as in the taxi trades customer. People have different preferences on which taxis they prefer to get in, etc. However, for the mayor to say that, it's just not materialised. Fraser Nash were developing the Metro Cab, which then they got dragged through the courts by LEVC because of the shape of it. That's bankrupted that, so that's a non-starter. Nissan vehicle is being converted by a company called Nissan, by Dynamo, and that's supposed to be coming April this year, we believe, but that's been stalled for the last 3 or 4 years. We need competition. LEVC need competition. You know, the taxi trade needs competition. Different vehicles will suit different drivers. We've moved away from having just the one vehicle back in 2009 when they brought in the Mercedes Vito. We believe Mercedes are working on an electric vehicle. We need competition as a customer. We need the competition, and I don't know where he's plucked that figure of 5 cabs from, 5 different vehicles for us to drive. I only know 3, and 2 of those have been stalled.
Yeah, I'm now speaking with Alex, who is again a green badge holder. And what I want to talk to him about is the reduction by the mayor, the arbitrary reduction by the mayor, of the licensing period for the Euro 5 cabs down to 12 years. Alex, how's that going to affect the trade, do you think?
It's going to have a huge impact on the trade, Keith. We're looking at all of a sudden from where we naturally replace about 1,000 cabs a year to, under the mayor's proposal, having to replace 2,000 cabs a year over the next 3 years. And we just don't have the production coming through to actually replace that. It's great that we want to be having a much healthier fleet, if you like, on the roads, but unfortunately, until we've actually got the production to meet the demand that's going to be there, you're only going to be causing an impact on the owners, whether that be individual owners or fleet owners. This sort of statement can wipe off massive amounts of money on the book value of these vehicles for the fleet owners, and they've got to all look at replacing that somehow. The only way for them to really replace that is to put the rents up for us drivers.
Right. So what you're saying is that the current manufacturer can't churn out 2,000 vehicles a year?
No, there isn't, and with there being no competition in the market, it doesn't look like there's going to be anybody to fill that void either in the near future.
So that's really not thought this one through, has it?
Not been thought through at all.
No. So what you've seen today is from the horse's mouth. A lot of these decisions that the mayor is randomly making to get himself a bit of press coverage is having a real damaging effect on the taxi trade, even down to the point of making them change vehicles and having to buy vehicles and there being no vehicles for them to buy. It is ludicrous. The mayor needs to go back to the drawing board and really think out some sensible policies to help the black cab trade.